So today we're going to be talking about UFC fighters that in my opinion will not be ranked inside the top 15 of their current division by the end of 2025. We're starting off in the heavyweight division. We're starting off with Tai Tuivasa. This guy won't be ranked by the end of the year. I don't think it's a hot take to say. Now, Tai Tuivasa is a fan favourite fighter. He's given us some fun moments against Derek Lewis, Ciryl Gane, shit like that. He is a fun personality, yes. But the heavyweight division is changing. The small obese guy that should really be fighting at welterweight isn't going to get far in the heavyweight division anymore. I mean, this guy, I think he's on like a 6-fight losing streak. Could be more, to be honest. Obviously, just looking at some of his last results, finished by submission to Volkov. Got submitted in the first round by Tybura. He looked dog shit in that fight and looked not great against Jairzinho. The fact that says a split decision, it was clearly a unanimous decision. The only reason Tai Tuivasa got given anything was because it was in Australia. But if you actually watch that fight, there's no way you can sit and tell me Tai Tuivasa currently, or should have even been declared the winner on one of the judges' scorecards, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Tai Tuivasa, guy's gone. Guy is so clearly gone. This guy will either be fighting Ngannou in the PFL by the end of the year, or he will be the first overall draft pick in the GFL's next draft, if that ever happens. Tai Tuivasa won't even be in the UFC. Moving on to light heavyweight, we've got Anthony Smith.
Bruh.
Is there much we need to discuss here, or can I move on? Because we know this guy isn't going to be ranked. He'll be in the GFL. Moving on, we have got middleweight division. We've got Paulo Costa. Look, let's start talking about this one like adults. Let's stop calling me horrible names in the comments. Look, I like Paulo Costa, and I think there are names of opponents he can beat in the division. Let's just quickly go and look. We're doing this on the fly, okay? Middleweight. I think he could beat a Jared Cannonier, a Brendan Allen, a Roman Dolidze, but this is the problem with Paulo Costa. He's not getting any of those fights next. Jared Cannonier's fighting RoboCop, Brendan Allen's fighting Anthony Hernandez, Paulo Costa's going to need a fight soon, Roman Dolidze is rematching Marvin Vettori, which in itself just is like, why is that happening? Then that leaves us to a matchup that I think he might get, dependent on the result of next Saturday. Shara Bullet. Now, I think Shara Bullet is pretty overrated in my opinion. He is very one-dimensional, has zero grappling, but is a good kickboxer. Paulo Costa isn't a grappler. Paulo Costa isn't a fighter that once went to absolute fucking war with Yoel Romero. He's not that guy anymore, unfortunately. Now, I think he would beat, I'm pretty sure I said Anthony Hernandez. I think he would beat him as well. But I have a funny feeling if Shara Bullet beats MVP, he's going to get Paulo Costa next, and I can see Paulo Costa losing that matchup by decision. That would then put him down near 14-15, and then they're probably going to at that point feel him to an up-and-comer like a Joe Pyfer, who I could see maybe knocking out Paulo Costa, maybe not knocking him out, but beating him up, because this new Paulo Costa is very timid by the looks of things. The Paulo Costa that would have walked these guys down before is no longer with us. R.I.P. Paulo Costa needs to put the secret juice down and get on the fucking actual juice and get the roid rage back and take it to some of these guys. But yeah, Paulo Costa, he might be ranked 15-14, but I think there is a high chance that Paulo Costa, if his name wasn't Paulo Costa and he was like a fucking Jack Hermanson, he would be long gone. I think it's because of the Paulo Costa history in the UFC and the fact that the guy can generate some hype. But Paulo Costa is my pick for the middleweight division. Moving on for the welterweight division. This one hurts. We've got Gilbert Burns.
Bruh.
Gilbert Burns isn't going to be in the rankings. Let's just call a spade a spade. He's currently on a 3-fight losing streak, about to be on a 4. When he fights... who the fuck is he fighting? Who is he fighting? Michael Morales. Yeah, that's who he's fighting. I knew it was... I knew. I was just testing you there. So if you got that right before I had to check the rankings, congratulations. But yeah, Gilbert Burns, the guy's ancient. The guy is like a fucking artifact now. 58 years of age. Yeah, he's going to be done. I think he's going to lose to Michael Morales. Why can I not fucking say that name? Michael Morales. I think he might even retire at that, so then obviously he wouldn't be in the rankings. But just in general, when you're looking at the names that are in the rankings, I mean, you've got Jeff Neal. I don't think that's a matchup that's going to happen for him. He's not going to fight Vicente Luque. MVP's moving up to middleweight. He's already fought Wonderboy. Can't imagine that fight's going to happen. You've got Colby Covington. He was another option as to someone who, a person I don't think will be ranked, but I think Gilbert Burns is a safer option because I think there's a higher possibility. Well, I mean, he fights more than Colby Covington. He fights the younger contenders, and I feel like there's a high chance that he might retire by the end of 2025. Moving on to the lightweight division, Michael Chandler. Look, I'm going to be honest. This guy probably will still be ranked. But for what fucking reason? I mean, any chance I get to make a video on a fighter who's overrated in the division, a fighter who won't be ranked, a fighter who's the most overrated fighter in the rankings, you bet your fucking bottom dollar this guy right here is being picked every time for the UFC lightweight division. Because what the fuck has he done outside of lose? Genuine question, because Dan Hooker has given this guy's career life in the UFC. Because what has he done? His latest win was against the GFL's fucking biggest star, Tony fucking Ferguson, and this guy's still ranked number 7. It gets me so fucking heated. I don't understand why this guy is there in the division. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, I mean, if the UFC phoned me up today and went, yo, we've got him in the rankings because McGregor's going to come back, I'd go, okay, because McGregor then would be back in the rankings. But that fight isn't going to fucking happen. And this guy, Michael Chandler, is going to stay in the lightweight rankings despite being fucking 0-2 right now. I mean, the guy's got 2 wins in the UFC. And he is losing to elite opposition, don't get me wrong. But the fact that he's being put in these positions with these elite opposition is so confusing when the guy is fucking winless. I don't get it. I really don't understand why. What does this guy have over the UFC? Like, what dirt does he have? How many months pregnant is Dana White with this guy's fucking kid? I need to know. Why is he still in the rankings? Michael Chandler probably won't be gone, but this is what I'm hoping for. Let's move on to featherweight. I've got Giga Chikadze.
I need the max win.
Giga Chikadze and my... Like, do we remember when people were saying... Like, remember when this guy was so hyped up? He was about to go in there and fight the likes of... what do you call him? Volkanovski. Why'd I say that so disrespectfully? Volk's the fucking greatest featherweight of all time. But yeah, remember when he was talking about going in there and fighting Volkanovski, but then got a shit rocked by Calvin Kattar? Not that Calvin Kattar's a bad fighter or anything, but when you're saying you're going to go in there and beat Volkanovski and then you get smoked by Calvin Kattar, when there's levels to MMA, you know what I mean? Giga Chikadze, in my opinion, the hype has completely dwindled away from him. The guy's 36 years of age. The UFC obviously don't want to push him anymore. I think he might get a matchup against like a Bryce Mitchell next, and Bryce Mitchell will just out-grapple him and expose that massive hole in his game. And then I think it's only a matter of time before he's booted out of the rankings, as the UFC's featherweight division is pretty stacked in the close to 15 unranked area, if you know what I mean. You're gone. Bantamweight division, we have got Cheeto Vera. Now, this is similar to the Michael Chandler situation. I don't hate Cheeto Vera as much as I hate Michael Chandler, but I don't get how this guy's ranked number 6 in the UFC. I don't understand the logistics. I don't understand how we've gotten to this point. His last fucking win is fucking Pedro Munoz, who isn't even in the rankings anymore. And this guy's ranked number 6. Obviously, you've got Rob Font and other names that he's beaten in the division. But you've got like Aldo, who's fucking ranked outside the top 10, who beat the shit out of Cheeto Vera. I don't get it. Again, I want to know what dirt this guy has in the UFC. How he's number 6 is fucking criminal, in my opinion. No offense. And finally, capping off the list, we have got Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott. He won't be ranked anymore. The guy's getting up there in age now. You've got Kai Asakura. He's probably going to be his next matchup. Probably the UFC are going to want to put him in the rankings. And then flyweight actually do have a lot of good prospects up and coming that I think do beat Tim Elliott. So, unfortunately for Timmy, it's only a matter of time before pack your shit up, bruh. He's heading up the GFL. Yo, Tony, save me a spot in the cab, man. I'm coming. That's where Tim Elliott's going to go. But yeah, you can let me know your opinions in the comments below. What current ranked UFC fighter in the top 15 do you think will be unranked? It's not as if the UFC have to release them, just being unranked in their current division. Who do you think it is? I think I've nailed them. Maybe Cheeto Vera might be a bit harsh, and Michael Chandler, but those guys need to fucking pack their bags and head to the GFL. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I will see you again in the next one.